Before we begin, please remember that the information provided in this video is for general informational and educational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional financial or legal advice. Insurance products, laws and regulations vary significantly by state and by a carrier. We are not licensed insurance agents or financial advisors. You should always consult with a qualified, licensed professional to analyze your individual needs and find the policy that is right for you. You hear the front door open. Your teenager walks in holding a flimsy piece of paper, but their smile is 1,000,000 watts. They did it. They passed their driver's test. And in that moment, a tidal wave of conflicting emotions washes over you. There's pride, of course. This is a huge milestone, a massive step toward independence. But right behind the pride is a cold, creeping dread. You're not just handing over the keys to a 2-ton metal box. You're handing over the keys to your financial sanity, because you know what's coming next. The letter, the email, the updated auto insurance bill that looks more like a mortgage payment. For millions of American parents, this is the moment the dream of an independent teen driver collides with the nightmare of insurance premiums. The average cost to add a 16-year-old male driver to a family policy can skyrocket by over 100%. We're talking an increase of $3,000, $4,000, even $5,000 a year depending on your state. Feels like a penalty, a punishment for your child growing up. But what if it doesn't have to be that way? What if I told you that buried inside that terrifying price tag are opportunities? That there are specific, proven strategies you can use to not just soften the blow, but to slash that premium by hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And more importantly, what if these same strategies could also make your teen a significantly safer driver? That's the real prize here. Because this isn't just about money, it's about peace of mind. In this presentation, we are going to pull back the curtain on the auto insurance industry. We're going to give you the playbook. We'll expose the hidden discounts most agents don't volunteer. We'll walk you through the critical conversations you must have with your new driver. And we'll reveal the #1 mistake that can cause an insurance company to drop your family entirely. So if you're a parent staring down the barrel of adding a teen to your policy, take a deep breath. You are in the right place. We're going to turn your panic into a plan. First, we have to understand the why. Why does the cost explode the second your teenager gets their license? It feels personal, but it's pure, cold, hard math. Insurance companies operate on the principle of risk. They essentially run a giant pool of money. Everyone pays into the pool, and when someone has an accident, the company pays out from that pool. Their entire business model depends on accurately predicting how likely you are to need a payout. To do this, they group people into categories. They have a category for 35-year-old accountants who drive a minivan 10 miles to work and back. They have a category for 50-year-old retirees in Florida. And they have a category for 16 to 19-year-old drivers. And that last category, it's a 5-alarm fire from a risk perspective. The statistics are just brutal. According to the CDC, the crash rate per mile driven for 16 to 19-year-olds is almost 3 times the rate for drivers 20 and over. They lack experience in judging gaps in traffic, they're more easily distracted, and their brains are literally not finished developing the part that manages impulse control. So, when an insurance company sees your 16-year-old, they don't see your kid, the one who gets good grades and volunteers on weekends. They see a data point, a statistic. And that statistic says this driver is one of the highest risks they can possibly put on their books. So, they charge you an enormous amount of money to add them to the pool because in their eyes, it's not a matter of if your teen will cost the pool money, but when and how much. Understanding this is the absolute key. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to do everything in your power to convince them that your teen is not like the others. You need to prove with data and actions that your kid is a better risk than the average teen. Every single tip we are going to discuss is about chipping away at that mountain of statistical risk, proving your teen is an exception to the rule, and forcing the insurance company to lower your rate accordingly. So where do we start? The very first decision you have to make is when to officially add your teen to the policy. This is a point of massive confusion for parents, and getting it wrong can be a costly mistake. The question is, do you add them when they get their learner's permit, or do you wait until they have their full license? The answer, in most cases, is refreshingly simple. You typically do not need to formally add a teen driver with a learner's permit to your insurance policy. Most standard auto policies in the United States have a clause that automatically extends coverage to a permitted driver, as long as they are driving with a licensed adult in the car, just as the law requires. The insurance company assumes this is part of the learning process, and because a licensed, experienced driver is in the passenger seat, the risk is still relatively controlled. However, and this is incredibly important, do not assume this is true for your policy. The absolute first step before your teen even sits in the driver's seat is to pick up the phone and call your insurance agent or company. Don't email, don't look at the website. Speak to a human being and ask this exact question. My child is about to get their learner's permit. What is your company's specific policy for covering permitted drivers? Are they automatically covered under my existing policy? Or do I need to list them? Get a clear, unambiguous answer. Some companies, though it's rare, might require you to list them as a driver, and a few might even charge a small fee. But the vast majority will simply say, "Thank you for letting us know. We'll add a note to your file." They are covered as long as a licensed adult is in the car. Call us back when they get their actual license. This one phone call accomplishes two things. First, it ensures you are 100% compliant with your policy, protecting you from a nightmare scenario where your teen gets an offender bender with their permit and you discover you have no coverage. Second, it starts the clock on your relationship with the insurance company regarding your new driver. You are signaling that you are a proactive, responsible parent, which is never a bad thing in their eyes. You're not hiding anything. You're playing by the rules. This is your first move in demonstrating that you and your teen are a lower risk. So, for the permit phase, the financial hit is usually zero. You get a temporary grace period, but this period is your golden opportunity. This is the training ground. Every single drive during this permit phase is a chance to build the safe driving habits that will not only protect your child's life, but will also unlock the discounts we're going to talk about later. Don't waste it. The real financial battle begins the day they pass that driving test and can legally drive alone. That is the moment the risk profile changes completely, and that is the moment they must be officially added to your policy as a listed licensed driver. There is no gray area here. The day they can drive alone is the day your insurance premium is going to change, and you need to be ready for it. The key is what you do before that day to control just how much it changes. So what exactly are those things you can do? It all starts long before they pass their driving test. The first and most misunderstood phase is the learner's permit. There's a giant, dangerous myth floating around that you don't need to tell your insurance company when your kid gets their permit. The logic people use is, well, they're not a licensed driver yet, and they're always driving with me, so they're covered under my policy, right? The answer is maybe. But maybe is a terrifying word when you're talking about a multi-thousand-dollar liability. Here's the reality. Most standard auto policies will extend coverage to a permitted driver, as long as they are a member of your household. However, insurance companies are not in the business of enjoying surprises. They operate on a principle of disclosed risk. By not telling them you have a new, inexperienced driver operating your vehicle, even under supervision, you are failing to disclose a material change in risk. What happens if there's an accident? In a best-case scenario, they cover the claim but then immediately adjust your premium and backcharge you to the date the permit was issued. In a worst-case scenario, particularly if they feel you intentionally withheld the information, they could argue misrepresentation and deny the claim entirely. Imagine your teen is practicing a three-point turn, misjudges the distance, and crunches the front end of your neighbor's brand new BMW. Now imagine your insurance company saying, "We're not covering that. You never told us about this driver." It's a nightmare scenario that is completely avoidable. So, tip number one is simple. The day your teen comes home with that learner's permit, you pick up the phone and call your insurance agent. Just say, "My son Billy got his learner's permit today. I want to make sure he is properly listed and that we have the right coverage." For most companies, there is no premium increase at the permit stage. It's a free zero-cost action that protects you completely. It also starts the clock on your relationship with the insurer regarding your new driver, which can be a good thing. It shows you're a responsible, proactive policyholder. Don't risk a potential claim denial to avoid a 5-minute phone call. Now, while you're on that phone call, you're going to transition to the second, and arguably one of the most powerful pre-licensing strategies, the discounts. The most famous of these is the good student discount. And again, most people have a very shallow understanding of how this actually works. They think it's just a little bonus for good grades. It's not. It is one of the single biggest discounts available for a young driver, often ranging from 10 to 25% off the premium. For a teen driver's premium, which can be thousands of dollars, a 25% discount isn't a bonus. It's a financial lifeline. Why do insurers care about grades? Because their actuaries, the people who live and breathe statistics, have found a direct, undeniable correlation between academic responsibility and driving responsibility. Students who maintain a B average or higher are statistically less likely to get into accidents, file claims, or get speeding tickets. To an insurance company, a B average student is a lower risk, and they will reward that lower risk with a lower price. So, how do you operationalize this? You don't wait until your kid has their license. You start the conversation in their freshman or sophomore year of high school. You frame it not as a punishment, but as a team goal with a real-world financial reward. Sit them down and say, look, adding you to the car insurance is going to be very expensive, but there's a way you can help us and help yourself save hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars. The insurance company will give us a massive discount if you maintain a 3.0 GPA. This is your way to have real skin in the game. Your job is to hit the books. Our job is to handle the rest. This reframes studying. It's no longer just about getting into college. It's about an immediate, tangible benefit, the freedom of driving. When it's time to add them to the policy, the insurance company will ask for proof. This is usually a copy of their most recent report card or a form signed by a school administrator. Be prepared to submit this every policy renewal, usually every 6 months, until they're out of the discounts age range, which can be as old as 25 if they're still a full-time student. Don't miss this. It's like leaving a stack of $100 bills on the table for no reason. But even the good student discount pales in comparison to the impact of our third strategy. This is the big one. This is the decision that can swing your premium by thousands of dollars a year, all by itself. And it has nothing to do with your teen's driving record or their grades. The single biggest lever you can pull to control your teen's insurance premium is the car they drive. Parents get this wrong all the time. They fall into one of two traps. The first trap is the dream car trap. It's their child's 16th birthday, a milestone, and they want to make it special. So they surprise them with a brand new sporty-looking car. A Mustang, a Camaro, a souped-up import. The second trap is the old hand-me-down trap. They have a 15-year-old SUV or a big, heavy V8 truck sitting around and they figure, it's paid for, let's just give it to the kid. Both of these well-intentioned moves can be catastrophic for your insurance bill. Let's paint a picture. Imagine two identical twin brothers, Alex and Ben. They live in the same house, have the same 3.5 GPA, and are getting their licenses on the same day. They are, from an insurance perspective, the exact same risk. Alex's parents assign him the family's 10-year-old Toyota Camry. It's safe, it's reliable, it's boring. Ben's parents, wanting to make a splash, buy him a 5-year-old Ford Mustang. It's got a powerful engine, it looks cool, and it's his dream car. When their parents call the insurance company, the agent quotes the policy for Alex on the Camry. The increase is steep, let's say an extra $2,000 per year. They brace themselves. Then the agent runs the quote for Ben on the Mustang. The increase is $5,500 per year. The parents are in shock. But they're the same kid. How can it be more than double? The agent explains. The Mustang's parts are more expensive. Its V8 engine makes it a performance vehicle, which screams risk to an underwriter. It's statistically more likely to be driven at high speeds. It's also a higher theft target. The Camry, on the other hand, is the opposite. Its parts are cheap and plentiful. It has a high safety rating from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, or IIHS. It has a 4-cylinder engine that encourages sensible driving. It's one of the least stolen cars in America. For the insurance company, assigning Alex to the Camry is a manageable risk. Assigning Ben to the Mustang is a 5-alarm fire. So what is the perfect first car for a teen, purely from an insurance standpoint? It's a vehicle that's 5 to 10 years old. This hits the sweet spot where it has modern safety features like electronic stability control and plenty of airbags, but it has depreciated enough that the cost to replace it, the comprehensive and collision part of your premium, is lower. It should be a sedan or a small non-luxury SUV. Think Honda Civic, Toyota Corolla, Subaru Impreza, or a Ford Escape. It should have a boring 4-cylinder engine. And most importantly, it should have a top safety rating from the IIHS. You can look this up for free on their website. This leads to the ultimate pro tip, the one action you absolutely must take. Quote before you buy. Never ever walk onto a car lot or agree to buy a used car for your teen without first calling your insurance agent with the exact vehicle identification number, the VIN, of the car you're considering. Get a hard quote on what it will cost to add that specific car and your specific teen to your policy. Do this for 2 or 3 different cars. You will be stunned at the difference. A 2014 Honda Civic might be $1,800 a year. while a 2014 Hyundai Genesis Coupe could be $4,000. Same year, same driver, wildly different car. Making a 5-minute phone call before you sign the paperwork could literally save you thousands of dollars a year, every year, until they're in their 20s. Choosing the right car isn't just a safety decision. It's the most important financial decision you will make in this entire process. So how do you know which car is an insurance-friendly dream and which one is a rate-hiking nightmare? It's not magic and it's not a mystery. Insurance companies are not emotional. They are cold, hard, data-driven machines. And when they look at a car, they are asking 3 simple questions. If you can understand these 3 questions, you can basically predict your own insurance rate. First, how well does this car protect its occupants in a crash? Second, how much does it cost to fix this car when it gets damaged? And third, how likely is this car to be stolen? That's it. That's the whole game. Safety, repair cost, and theft risk. Let's break that down because mastering this is like having a cheat code. Let's start with safety. This is the one that aligns perfectly with your goals as a parent. You want your child in the safest car possible, and your insurance company wants the exact same thing. Why? Because safe cars drastically reduce the most expensive part of any claim: medical bills. Every time you see an ad for a car that got a top safety pick from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, or a 5-star rating from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, your ears should perk up. Those aren't just marketing buzzwords. They are direct signals to your insurer. A car loaded with modern safety features, things like automatic emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, and lane keep assist, is statistically proven to be in fewer accidents. Fewer accidents mean fewer claims. And a car with a great crash test rating means that when an accident does happen, the injuries are likely to be less severe. Less severe injuries mean lower medical payouts. Your insurance agent sees a 5-star safety rating not just as a shield for your child, but as a shield for their company's bank account, and they will reward you for it with a lower premium. So when you're comparing 2 similar sedans, and one has significantly better safety ratings and more driver assist features, you can bet your bottom dollar it will be the cheaper one to insure. Now let's talk about the second question, the one that trips up so many people. How much does this car cost to fix? This is where the dream of getting your son that used 10-year-old BMW 3 Series comes to a screeching halt. You might think, it's a 10-year-old car, it only costs me $9,000. How can it be expensive to insure? But your insurance company isn't thinking about the car's blue book value. They're thinking about the cost of parts and labor. Imagine a simple, low-speed fender bender in a parking lot. In a 2015 Ford Fusion, you need a new bumper cover, a headlight assembly, and maybe a little paint. The parts are plentiful, nearly any body shop in America can do the work, and the total bill might be, say, $1,200. Now, imagine that exact same fender bender in that 2013 BMW. The bumper has parking sensors embedded in it. The headlight is a self-leveling xenon unit that costs a fortune. The parts have to be shipped from Germany, and only a specialized body shop with the right computers can recalibrate the sensors after the repair. That same fender bender now costs $4,000 to fix. The insurance company knows this. They have mountains of data on the repair costs for every single make and model. They know that the parts for a Toyota Camry are cheap and abundant, while the parts for an Audi A4 are expensive and specialized. They know that a standard side view mirror on a Chevy is a couple $100, but the one on a Mercedes with a built-in camera and blind spot indicator is a $2,000 component. This is why, as a general rule, mainstream domestic and Japanese brands are almost always cheaper to insure than European or luxury brands, even if the cars are the same age and price. The third question is the wild card. How likely is this car to be stolen? You might not even think about this, but your insurer is obsessed with it. Every year, organizations release a hot list of the most stolen vehicles in America. For years, cars like the Honda Accord and Honda Civic, along with full-size Ford and Chevy pickup trucks, have dominated that list. Why? Because they're popular, so there's a huge black market for their parts. If your teen's first car is a model that's frequently targeted by thieves, the insurance company sees a higher risk that they'll have to pay out a total loss claim. It's a simple risk calculation. That risk gets priced directly into your comprehensive coverage, the part of your policy that covers theft. So even if a car is safe and relatively cheap to repair, if it's a magnet for thieves, your premium will be higher. You can easily Google the most stolen cars list for your state to see which models to be wary of. So, putting it all together, what's the perfect car for a teen driver from an insurance perspective? I call it the boring is brilliant philosophy. When it comes to your teen's first car, boring is beautiful, boring is safe, and most importantly, boring is cheap. You're looking for a mid-size sedan or a small non-turbocharged SUV that's between 3 and 5 years old. Think Toyota Camry, Honda Accord, Subaru Forester, Ford Fusion, or Chevy Malibu. These cars hit the trifecta. They consistently get high safety ratings. Their parts are inexpensive and every mechanic knows how to work on them. And while some models can be theft targets, they are generally not at the top of the list compared to sportier or bigger vehicles. This also gives us a very clear, absolutely avoid list. These are the cars that will send your insurance quote into the stratosphere no matter what you do. First and most obviously, avoid sports cars and high-performance vehicles. A Ford Mustang, a Chevy Camaro, a Dodge Charger. It doesn't matter if it's the base V6 model. The name itself is a red flag. Insurers see these cars and their data screams risk. They are statistically involved in more high-speed accidents, more single-vehicle accidents, and more expensive claims. Handing the keys of a 2-ton, high-horsepower vehicle to a driver with 6 months of experience is, in the eyes of an insurer, a total liability nightmare. Second on the avoid list, and this might surprise you, are large pickup trucks and oversized SUVs. There's a common belief that bigger is safer, and in some ways, it's true for the occupants. But insurance companies see it differently. A massive truck or a Suburban is harder for an inexperienced driver to handle, to park, and to judge distances in. They have larger blind spots. And crucially, when they do get into an accident, they tend to cause significantly more damage to the other car. Your liability coverage, the part of your policy that pays for the damage you cause to others, will be much higher because the potential for a massive claim is so much greater. Third, avoid brand new cars. The allure of that new car smell is strong, but the insurance penalty is severe. The second you drive a new car off the lot, its value plummets, but for the first couple of years, the cost to replace it with another new one is at its absolute peak. This makes your collision and comprehensive coverage incredibly expensive. A 3-year-old car has already taken its biggest depreciation hit, but it still has almost all the modern safety features. It's the financial sweet spot. And finally, as we discussed, avoid luxury brands. BMW, Mercedes, Audi, Lexus, Infiniti. Even if you find a great deal on a used one, the long-term cost of insurance will eat you alive. The complexity and cost of their repairs are just too high. Stick with the mainstream, boring brands. So here's the single most powerful actionable thing you can do. Before you fall in love with a car on a dealer's lot, before you even take a test drive, get the vehicle identification number, the VIN. It's on the windshield and on the door jamb sticker. Then, call your insurance agent and say these magic words. I'm considering buying this car for my teenage son. Can you run a sample quote to show me what it would do to my premium? Do this for 2 or 3 different cars. Get a quote for that boring 2018 Toyota Camry, and then get one for that cool 2014 Mustang your son is begging for. The difference will absolutely stagger you. It won't be a 10 or 20% difference. Could be double, could be triple. Seeing the numbers in black and white, a $2,000 difference per year, is the most powerful tool you have to convince your teen that a reliable sedan is a much smarter choice. You're not just saying no, you're showing them the cold, hard math. Okay, so you've followed the plan. You've resisted the temptation of the sports car. You've chosen the perfect, boring, and brilliantly cheap to insure 4-door sedan. You've already saved yourself a fortune. But we are not done squeezing every last dollar out of this policy. In fact, we're just getting started. The next step involves your kid's report card. A simple online course you've probably never heard of, and a tiny little device that you plug into the car that could slash your bill by another 30%. So let's start with that report card. It might feel like the last thing you want to think about after a long day, but trust me, your kid's GPA could be your new best friend. This is all about something called the Good Student Discount, and nearly every major insurance carrier offers it. The logic from their side is simple, and honestly it makes a lot of sense. They believe a student who is responsible enough to maintain good grades is more likely to be a responsible driver. They see a correlation between discipline in the classroom and discipline behind the wheel. And they are willing to put their money where their mouth is. How good do the grades have to be? The threshold is surprisingly reasonable. We're not talking valedictorian level here. Typically, the requirement is for the student to maintain a B average, which translates to a 3.0 GPA. Some insurers will also accept proof that your student is on the dean's list or honor roll. A few even have an alternative path. If your teen scores in the top 20% on a standardized test like the SAT or ACT, that can qualify them too. The savings are not trivial. We're talking about a discount that typically ranges from 10 to as high as 25%. On a $4,000 annual premium, a 25% discount is $1,000. That's $1,000 back in your pocket, just for something your kid is hopefully already doing. So here's your first piece of homework. Find your teen's most recent report card. If they meet that B average or 3.0 GPA threshold, pick up the phone and call your insurance agent immediately. You'll likely need to send them a copy of the transcript as proof, but the process is usually painless. Just be aware that you often have to re-verify this every policy period, so keep those grades up. And this discount usually applies as long as they are a full-time student under the age of 25. So yes, this can follow them to college and save you money for years to come. Now, what if your kid is a brilliant, creative, wonderful human who just happens to be a solid C student? Are you out of luck? Not at all. That brings us to the second item, that simple online course. While good grades are a proxy for responsibility, insurance companies are even more interested in proven, tangible driving skills. This is where a defensive driving or driver safety course comes in. And I'm not talking about the basic driver's ed class they took to get their license. I'm talking about a supplemental voluntary course specifically designed to teach advanced safety techniques. Think of it this way. The state requires a driver's ed course to teach the basic rules of the road, how to parallel park, what a stop sign means. An approved defensive driving course teaches a teen how to survive on the road, how to anticipate another driver's mistake, how to handle a skid on a wet road, how to manage distractions in a world full of them. Insurance companies love these courses because every teen who completes one is statistically less likely to file a claim. It's a direct reduction of their risk. And the best part? Your teen doesn't have to spend 6 Saturdays in a stuffy classroom. There are dozens of insurer-approved courses available entirely online. They can complete them from their bedroom in a few hours, often for less than $50. The discount you get in return is typically between 5 and 15%, and it usually lasts for 3 years. So you spend $50 once and you could save hundreds of dollars a year for the next 3 years. The math on that is a no-brainer. But here is the critical, non-negotiable step. Before you sign up and pay for any course, you must call your insurance company and get a list of the specific courses they approve. Do not just Google defensive driving course and pick one. If it's not on your insurer's approved list, you will get a $0 discount for your effort. Okay, so you've leveraged the good grades, you've completed the safety course, and you've already chipped away at that premium. Now it's time for the heavy hitter. The one thing that can single-handedly have the biggest impact on your bill. I'm talking about that tiny little device you plug into the car. This technology is called telematics, or usage-based insurance, and it's a complete game changer. For decades, insurance was priced based on demographics. They looked at your age, your gender, your zip code, and made an educated guess about how risky you were. Telematics throws that model out the window. Instead of guessing, it uses real data to measure how you actually drive. It's a show me, don't tell me approach to insurance. You're no longer just a 16-year-old male, which is the highest risk category on the planet. You are now an individual driver whose premium is based on your personal, demonstrated habits. Here's how it works. The insurance company sends you a small device about the size of a pack of gum. You plug it into your car's OBD2 port, which is usually located under the dashboard near the steering wheel. It's the same port your mechanic uses to diagnose a check engine light. A lot of newer programs don't even use a device anymore. They just use an app on your teen's smartphone. Once it's active, it quietly monitors a few key driving behaviors. It's not watching or listening to you, but it is tracking things like hard braking, sudden acceleration, your average speed, how many miles you drive, and this is a big one, the time of day you drive. Driving at 2 in the afternoon is much safer than driving at 2 in the morning, and the data reflects that. Now let's address the elephant in the room: privacy. The idea of Big Brother riding shotgun is a non-starter for a lot of people, and that's a completely valid concern. You need to know what's being tracked and why. The data is used to create a safety score for the driver. A higher score means a bigger discount. The data is generally not shared with law enforcement unless there's a subpoena, and it's not used to track your every location to see if you went to the mall instead of the library. It's focused on those key risk indicators: braking, acceleration, speed, and time. You have to decide if the trade-off, sharing this specific driving data, is worth the potential reward. And what is that reward? It's massive. While some low-mileage drivers might only get a 5 or 10% discount, it's very common for safe drivers to see discounts of 20, 30, or even 40%. This is how you take a sky-high premium and bring it back down to earth. By proving your teen isn't a statistic, that they are a safe, conscientious driver, you get rewarded with a rate that reflects their actual risk, not their demographic risk. But there is a crucial warning here. This is a double-edged sword. If the data shows your teen is consistently speeding, slamming on the brakes, and taking corners like a Formula One driver, the program can actually increase your rates in some states. It's a reward for safe driving, but it can be a penalty for risky driving. That's why it's so important to have a serious conversation with your teen before you sign up. This isn't just about saving money. It's a tool for coaching and reinforcing good habits. They need to know exactly what's being monitored and what the stakes are. So, you've got the good student discount for their work in the classroom. You've got the defensive driving discount for their extra training. And now you have the telematics discount for their proven safety on the road. The real magic happens when you stack them. A 15% discount here, a 10% discount there, and a 25% discount on top of that. Suddenly that terrifying premium becomes manageable. You've used a combination of brains, skills, and technology to fundamentally change your risk profile in the eyes of the insurer. We've focused entirely on the driver so far. But all of these efforts can be completely undermined if you make one critical mistake before your teen even gets their keys. That mistake involves the car they'll be driving. And I'm going to tell you why that safe and reliable 10-year-old sedan you were planning to pass down might actually be the single most expensive vehicle you can insure for a teenager, and how a much newer and frankly more surprising car could save you thousands. It all comes down to two words: predictable risk. To an insurance company, a 16-year-old driver is the very definition of unpredictable. But the car they drive, that's a different story. The vehicle itself is a list of data points, a known quantity. And in the cold, hard calculus of insurance underwriting, that 10-year-old safe and reliable sedan is a ticking financial time bomb. Here's the logic, and it's completely counterintuitive to how we normally think about value. Let's say your old sedan is a 2014 model, and it has a market value of about $8,000. Your teenager, who is still learning to judge distances and reaction times, has a minor fender bender. No one is hurt, thank goodness, but the front bumper is smashed, a headlight is broken, and the grille is cracked. You take it to the body shop. With modern plastic bumpers, sensor recalibrations, paint matching, and labor costs, the repair bill comes back at $5,000. Now stop and think like an insurer. You have an $8,000 asset that just cost you $5,000 to fix. That's over 60% of the car's total value gone in one minor incident. What if the damage had been slightly worse? A bit of frame damage, a couple of deployed airbags? The repair costs would easily exceed $8,000. At that point, the insurance company declares the car a total loss and writes you a check for its value. For them, a 10-year-old car driven by a brand new driver isn't just a risk. It's a total loss in waiting. They see a high probability of having to pay out the car's entire value, and they price the policy accordingly. They are baking that massive predictable expense right into your premium. But that's only half of the equation. The other half is about what that older car lacks. It lacks the one thing that has fundamentally changed car insurance in the last decade: advanced driver assistance systems, or ADAS. These are the unsung heroes of your insurance bill. Now let's look at the alternative we talked about: a much newer car. Let's say, instead of the 2014 sedan, you look at a 2021 model. Maybe a Toyota Camry, a Subaru Forester, or a Honda CR-V. This car is worth, let's say, $24,000. Your brain immediately says, whoa, that's a much more expensive asset. The insurance for a teen on this will be astronomical. And that's where you'd be wrong. That 2021 vehicle is packed with technology designed for one primary purpose: to prevent the exact kinds of accidents that teenagers are most likely to have. It has a pre-collision system with automatic emergency braking. This uses cameras and radar to watch the road. If your teen gets distracted by their phone or looks away for a split second and the car in front of them slams on its brakes, the car will beep, flash a warning, and if the driver doesn't react, it will slam on the brakes for them. To an insurer, that single feature just eliminated the most common type of accident claim: the rear-end collision. That newer car also has lane keeping assist and lane departure warnings. If your new driver starts to drift out of their lane on the highway because they're tired or fiddling with the radio, the car will alert them, and in many cases, gently nudge the steering wheel to guide them back to the center. For the insurance company, That feature just drastically reduced the risk of sideswipes and single-vehicle roadway departure accidents. It has blind spot monitoring, a little light in the side mirror that illuminates when a car is in that dangerous spot you can't quite see. That feature just lowered the risk of an unsafe lane change on a busy freeway. It has rear cross-traffic alert. When your teen is backing out of a parking spot at the crowded mall, the car will scream at them if another vehicle is about to cross their path. That just prevented another classic low-speed collision. Essentially, you have given your inexperienced teenager an electronic co-pilot, a guardian angel made of sensors and code that is working every single second to prevent a claim. The insurance underwriter knows this. They have mountains of data showing that a 2021 Toyota with Safety Sense 2.5 is statistically far less likely to be in an accident than a 2014 model with nothing but an airbag and a prayer. So let's replay our fender bender scenario with the new car. Because of the automatic emergency braking, the accident is less likely to happen in the first place. But let's say it does and the damage is identical, $5,000. To the insurer, that $5,000 repair on a $24,000 car is a manageable 20% loss. It is a world away from the 60+% loss on the older car. The risk of a total loss is virtually zero for a minor accident. So you have a vehicle that is statistically less likely to crash, and if it does crash, it's statistically less likely to be a total financial loss for the insurer. The result? A lower premium. Often, a dramatically lower premium. We're not talking about a few dollars a month. We're talking about a difference that can be $500, $1,000, even $1,500 a year or more, depending on the specific models and your location. You could literally save enough on the insurance to make up a significant portion of the car payment on the newer, safer, and frankly more reliable vehicle. The key is to target the right kind of newer car. You aren't looking for a sports car or a luxury brand where repair costs are inflated. You are looking for the Goldilocks zone. A 2 to 5-year-old vehicle from a reliable brand like Toyota, Honda, or Subaru that is known for including its safety suite as standard equipment on most trim levels. Think of cars like the RAV4, the Forester, the Camry, the Accord. These are the darlings of the insurance industry. They are safe, reliable, and their parts are readily available, keeping repair costs reasonable. They are the polar opposite of that 10-year-old sedan which looks cheap on paper, but is a 5-alarm fire in an underwriter's risk assessment report. Before you ever hand down the keys to the old family wagon or buy a cheap first car off Craigslist, you must do this one thing. Call your insurance agent and get quotes. Don't just ask, "What's the cost to add my son to my 2014 Accord?" Ask them to run a comparison. Say, "Please quote me the 2014 Accord." Then quote me a 2021 Subaru Crosstrek and a 2020 Toyota RAV4. The agent might be surprised you're asking, but when they run the numbers, you will see the logic unfold right there in the premium quotes. You are essentially leveraging safety technology to buy down your insurance risk. You are showing the insurance company that you are making the smartest possible choice to mitigate their potential losses, and in return, they will reward you with a better rate. Choosing the right vehicle is not just the most important decision for your teen's physical safety. It is, without a doubt, the single biggest financial lever you can pull to make this new chapter affordable. But picking the car is only step one. How you list that car and driver on the policy itself opens up a whole new set of strategies and pitfalls. Assigning the wrong driver to the wrong car can be a catastrophic mistake, both financially and legally. And that brings us to the critical concept of driver assignment, and why you absolutely must understand who is listed as the primary operator of that vehicle. Think of it like a movie cast list. Every car on your policy is a role, and every driver in your house is an actor. The primary operator is the lead actor for that specific car, the person who drives it more than anyone else. Your insurance company uses this information to calculate the risk. They look at the lead actor, their age, their driving record, their experience, and pair it with the role, the type of car, its value, its safety features. A 16-year-old lead actor in a high-performance sports car is a recipe for a high-budget, high-risk blockbuster. A 45-year-old with a perfect record in a sensible minivan? That's a low-risk indie film. The premium you pay is the ticket price for that movie. Now, here is where thousands of well-meaning parents make a financially devastating mistake. They try to game the system. Let's imagine a family, we'll call them the Millers. They have two parents, Mark and Susan, and their newly licensed 16-year-old son, Alex. They have 3 cars on their policy. There's Susan's brand new, safe, but very expensive SUV. There's Mark's nice, reliable sedan he uses for his daily commute. And then there's the car they bought for Alex, a 15-year-old high-mileage sedan. It's the classic beater with the heater. It's paid off, it's dented, and the liability-only insurance on it is dirt cheap. When the Millers call their insurance company to add Alex, the agent asks, which car will be his primary vehicle? Mark, thinking he's being clever, immediately says, oh, he'll be the primary driver of the old sedan. The agent plugs it into the system. The premium goes up, of course. Adding a teen is always a shock, but it's manageable. It's significantly less than if they had assigned Alex to the new SUV or the commuter sedan. The Millers hang up the phone feeling relieved. They think they've just saved $1,000 a year. They've cracked the code. But what they've actually done is light the fuse on a financial time bomb. Because insurance isn't about what you say on a phone call. It's about what happens in reality. In the real world, Alex drives the old sedan to school and back. But on Friday night, he wants to take his friends to the movies. Susan, wanting him to be safe, says, don't take that old clunker, take my SUV. It has all the modern safety features. On Sunday, the family needs to run errands in 2 different directions. So Mark tosses Alex the keys to his commuter sedan. Over the next 6 months, a pattern emerges. While Alex technically uses the old sedan for his most regular trip school, he ends up driving the other 2 more expensive cars at least 2 or 3 times a week. He's not the primary driver of those cars, but he's definitely a regular driver. Then comes the day every parent dreads. Alex is driving his mom's new SUV. He's coming home from a friend's house. He gets distracted for a split second, runs a red light, and T-bones another vehicle. It's a serious accident. Thankfully, everyone is alive, but there are significant injuries, and both cars, including the Millers' brand new SUV, are completely totaled. The Millers do what you're supposed to do. They call their insurance company and file a claim. The initial property damage and medical estimates are staggering, well over $200,000. But they have good coverage, so they think they're protected. This is where the fantasy of their clever decision collides with the brutal reality of how insurance works. For a claim this large, the insurance company doesn't just write a check. They launch a full-scale investigation. An adjuster is assigned, and their job is to verify the facts of the claim. They interview the Millers. They interview Alex. They might ask for cell phone records to verify location and timing. They might even talk to Alex's friends who were with him, or check social media posts. The adjuster asks Susan, how often does Alex drive your SUV? And Susan, wanting to be honest, says, oh, pretty regularly. Maybe once or twice a week on the weekends. The adjuster makes a note. They ask Mark the same question about his sedan. He gives a similar answer. The adjuster goes back to the office and pulls up the Millers' policy declaration page. And right there, in black and white, it says Alex is the primary operator of the 15-year-old sedan, and only the 15-year-old sedan. He is not listed as even an occasional operator on the other 2 vehicles. The insurance company now has a very serious problem. The Millers paid a premium based on their son driving a low-value, low-risk car. But the massive claim they just filed occurred while he was driving a high-value, high-risk car. A car he regularly used but was not rated for on the policy. This is when the Millers receive a letter containing 2 words that can shatter a family's financial foundation: material misrepresentation. Material misrepresentation is a legal term in insurance that basically means you provided false or misleading information that was critical, or material, to the insurer's decision to provide you with coverage at a certain price. It doesn't matter if you did it intentionally to save money, or if you did it accidentally out of ignorance. The outcome is the same. You misrepresented the risk, and the insurance contract you signed is therefore based on a false premise. At this point, the insurance company has several devastating options. Option 1, the absolute worst-case scenario. They can deny the claim entirely. They can send a letter that says, because you materially misrepresented who was driving this vehicle, your policy is considered void for this claim. We are paying nothing. Suddenly, the Millers are not just without their new SUV. They are personally, legally, and financially responsible for the $250,000 in medical bills and property damage from the accident. They will be sued. Their wages could be garnished. A lien could be placed on their home, their entire life savings, their retirement, their kids' college funds. All of it is now on the line because they tried to save $1,000 on their premium. Option 2, which is still catastrophic. The insurer might choose to pay the claim to the third party to fulfill their legal obligation, but then they turn around and sue the Millers to recover the money they paid out. This is called subrogation. Even worse, they will almost certainly cancel the miller's policy and non-renew them. Now the millers are labeled as high risk. Trying to get new insurance after being dropped for material misrepresentation is a nightmare. They'll be forced into a high-risk pool, paying astronomically high premiums for years to come, all with a black mark on their insurance record. The simple, painful truth is this. The most important rule of driver assignment is honesty. You must assign your teen driver as the primary operator of the car they will drive most often. If they are going to have regular access to multiple cars, you need to have a frank conversation with your agent. You need to say, "My son will primarily drive the old sedan to school, but he will also be using my wife's SUV on weekends. How do we structure this policy so we are completely and totally covered, no matter which car he's in?" A good agent will know exactly what to do. They might list him as the primary on the old car and an occasional operator on the SUV. Or, in some cases, the insurance company's rule might be that the highest risk driver must be assigned to the highest risk vehicle, period. Yes, the premium will be higher, significantly higher, but that higher premium is the price of legitimate, legally binding coverage. It's the price of a promise that will actually be kept when you need it most. You are not buying a piece of paper. You are buying financial certainty in the face of chaos. Trying to trick the system on driver assignment is like buying a cheap parachute. It feels great when you buy it, but you only find out it doesn't work when it's far too late to do anything about it. So now that you understand the catastrophic risk of getting this wrong, you're probably wondering how on earth you can afford to do it right. The premium shock is real, but the good news is you can. There are powerful, effective ways to bring that cost down dramatically without cutting a single corner on coverage. And it all starts with a simple report card, a weekend driving course, and a tiny little device you plug into your car. Let's break down these 3 secret weapons, starting with the one that's probably sitting in your teen's backpack right now. Their report card. This is the Good Student Discount, and it's one of the easiest and most significant discounts you can get. Insurance companies aren't just being nice. They have mountains of data, and that data shows a clear, undeniable correlation. Students who are responsible in the classroom tend to be more responsible behind the wheel. They study for tests, they follow rules, they think ahead, all traits of a safe driver. So insurers are willing to make a bet on your A or B student. How does it work? It's beautifully simple. Most major insurance companies offer a discount, often ranging from 10% to as much as 25%, for full-time high school or college students who maintain a certain academic average. Typically, this means a B average, or a 3.0 grade point average on a 4.0 scale. Some might ask for the student to be on the honor roll or in the top 20% of their class. All you have to do is provide proof. At the end of each semester or grading period, you just send a copy of your teen's report card or a transcript to your insurance agent. They apply the discount, and you see the savings on your next bill. It's that easy. Now a few pro tips here. Don't assume the discount is automatic. You have to ask for it. Call your agent and explicitly say, "I'd like to apply for the Good Student Discount for my teen driver." Second, know the specific requirements for your company. Does a B- count? What about for homeschooled students? In that case, they'll often accept scores from standardized tests like the SAT, ACT, or SAT. What if your teen is in college? The discount usually extends to full-time college students up to age 25. This is a discount that can potentially save you thousands of dollars over the 7 or 8 years your child is on your policy, from their learner's permit all the way through college. It's the ultimate win-win. You're encouraging good grades, and it's directly lowering one of your biggest household expenses. But what if your kid is a fantastic, responsible person who just isn't a straight-A student? What if academics aren't their strong suit? Don't worry, the report card is just weapon number 1. The next one has nothing to do with algebra and everything to do with what happens when the rubber actually meets the road. This is the driver training discount. And I'm not talking about the basic driver's ed class they took to get their license. I'm talking about an advanced certified defensive driving course. Think of standard driver's ed as learning the basic rules of the game. How to use the pieces on the chessboard. A defensive driving course is like learning strategy from a grandmaster. It teaches teens to anticipate the mistakes of other drivers, to recognize hazards before they become emergencies, and to master skills that standard issue training barely touches. These courses often include hands-on in-car training on a closed track. They'll put your teen into a controlled skid to teach them how to recover, not just read about it in a book. They'll practice emergency braking, showing them how ABS feels and how to steer out of trouble. They learn about managing distractions, understanding vehicle dynamics, and mastering the art of looking far down the road to see problems developing 3, 4, 5 cars ahead. This isn't just about passing a test. It's about building life-saving muscle memory. From an insurance perspective, a teen who has passed one of these approved courses is a much better risk. They've proven they're committed to safety beyond the bare minimum. The result? Another discount, typically in the 5% to 15% range. Yes, these courses have an upfront cost, usually a few $100s. But the insurance discount is often ongoing for several years. In most cases, the course pays for itself in premium savings within the first year or two. And let's be honest, the real return on investment isn't the money. It's the peace of mind knowing your child has the skills to handle a terrifying, what-if moment on the highway. You can't put a price on that. So, check with your insurance provider for a list of approved courses in your area. It's a weekend of training that delivers years of savings and a lifetime of safety. So, you've leveraged their grades. You've invested in advanced skills. You've already chipped away significantly at that premium. Now we get to the third and often most powerful tool. It's also the one that gives some parents pause. That tiny little device you plug into your car, or the app you install on their phone. This is the world of telematics and usage-based insurance, or UBI. Let's be direct about this. For decades, insurance for teens has been based on a frustratingly blunt instrument: statistics. Your 16-year-old was priced the same as the most reckless 16-year-old in the country because they were part of the same high-risk demographic. Telematics changes the entire game. It allows your teen to be judged not by the behavior of their peers, but by their own actual driving habits. It's a way for them to prove they are a safe driver and be rewarded for it. Here's how it works. You enroll in your insurer's UBI program. They either send you a small device that plugs into your car's OBD2 port, that's the diagnostic port under the steering wheel, or you activate the feature through their smartphone app. This system then quietly monitors key driving behaviors. We're not talking about Big Brother listening to your conversations. It's focused on a few key metrics for safety: hard braking, rapid acceleration, high speeds, cornering, and sometimes the time of day you're driving, avoiding those high-risk late-night hours, and total mileage. The data is sent back to the insurance company, creating a safety score for the driver. After an initial monitoring period, usually a few months, the company analyzes the data. If your teen demonstrates consistent, safe driving habits, smooth acceleration, gentle braking, obeying speed limits, you can be rewarded with a massive discount. And I mean massive. Some programs offer discounts of up to 30% or even 40% for the safest drivers. This is by far the single biggest discount you can typically earn. Now let's address the elephant in the room: privacy. It's a valid concern. You're sharing data about where and how you drive. But it's important to understand two things. First, insurance companies have incredibly strict data privacy policies. This information is used for one thing: calculating your risk and your premium. Second, as a parent, this can be an invaluable tool. Most of these programs come with a dashboard or app that you can access. You can see the same data the insurer sees. You can see if your teen slammed on the brakes on the way home from school or was speeding on the freeway. It transforms the conversation from, "I'm worried you're driving too fast," to "Let's look at the data from yesterday's trip. It shows you were going 15 over the limit on the interstate. Let's talk about why." Provides accountability. It's a digital co-pilot that helps you coach your new driver, reinforcing the safe habits you've taught them. It's a way to trust but verify. And for your teen, it gives them a sense of control. They know that their good, responsible actions behind the wheel will be directly reflected in a lower family bill, which is a powerful motivator. So you have three distinct, powerful strategies: the good student discount, rewarding academic responsibility; the driver training discount, rewarding an investment in advanced, life-saving skills; and the telematics discount, rewarding real-world, proven safe driving habits. You don't have to choose just one. You can stack them. A B student who takes a defensive driving course and proves they are a safe driver through a UBI program can see their insurance premium, that number that made your jaw hit the floor, become something far, far more manageable. You're taking control back from the statistics and creating a premium that reflects your individual teen. These discounts are the foundation of an affordable policy, but they work best when applied to the right kind of vehicle. Because the car your teen drives is the single biggest factor in your final premium, even bigger than the driver themselves. And choosing that car involves a delicate balance, a three-way tug-of-war between safety, reliability, and most importantly, insurability. Getting this choice wrong can undo all the hard work you've done with discounts. Getting it right can save you a fortune. And that's exactly where we're headed next. The single biggest mistake a parent can make isn't forgetting to ask for the good student discount. It's not even failing to take a defensive driving course. The single biggest, most expensive mistake is choosing the wrong car. This one decision can cost you more than all the discounts combined. It's the linchpin of your entire insurance strategy. So let's dissect this three-way tug of war. First up is safety. This is the non-negotiable for every single parent. You want your kid wrapped in a fortress of steel and airbags. You go to the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, the IHS, and you look for that top Safety Pick Plus award. You see 5-star crash ratings and you think, perfect. A safer car must equal a cheaper insurance premium. And that is a logical, responsible, and completely wrong assumption. Here's the paradox of modern car safety. The very technology that makes a car safer for the occupant often makes it astronomically more expensive to insure. Think about a simple low-speed fender bender in a parking lot. 15 years ago, this was a $100 bumper scuff. Today, that same bumper on a modern car is a technological marvel. It's packed with sensors for parking assist, blind spot monitoring, and cross-traffic alerts. That gentle tap that used to be a cosmetic issue now means you have to replace and, more importantly, recalibrate thousands of dollars worth of sensitive electronics. An insurance company sees a car with a 5-star safety rating and thinks two things. 1. Great, our liability payout in a major accident might be lower because the occupants are well protected. But they also think, 2. A minor collision in this thing is going to cost us $4,000 to fix a bumper. And guess which thought weighs more heavily on your collision coverage premium? It's the second one, because minor accidents are infinitely more common than catastrophic ones. So, your quest for the absolute pinnacle of safety tech can accidentally triple the cost of the most frequently used part of your insurance. The sweet spot isn't no tech, it's low tech. You want a car with fantastic structural integrity and all the standard airbags, but maybe skip the model with the sensor-loaded bumpers and the camera in the side mirror. Safety is paramount, but the cost of that safety is what your insurer truly cares about. Now for the second corner of our triangle, reliability. This seems simple. You want a car that starts every time and doesn't leave your kid stranded. So you look at brands known for running forever, Toyotas, Hondas. Or maybe you think, I'll get an older, simpler car. A 15-year-old Volvo, built like a tank, easy to fix. But again, there's a trap. That older, reliable car might be missing key safety features that insurers now consider standard, like electronic stability control or side curtain airbags. Its absence can subtly increase the perceived risk, nudging your liability rates up. On the flip side, some famously reliable brands can have surprisingly expensive parts. A part for a common domestic car might be cheap and plentiful. An equivalent part for an imported car, even a popular one, might cost significantly more and be harder to source. Insurers know this. They have databases that track the average cost of repair for every make, model, and year. A reliable car that's expensive to fix when it does break is not a win in their eyes. You're not looking for a car that never breaks. You're looking for a car that's cheap to fix when the inevitable happens. This brings us to the most important, most misunderstood part of the equation: insurability. This isn't about how safe the car is for you or how reliable it is. This is about how risky the car is for the insurance company's bottom line. They speak a different language, and it's a language of data. First, they look at theft rates. This is a huge one. Your teen could be the safest driver in the world with a 4.0 GPA, but if you put them in what the industry calls a theft magnet, your comprehensive coverage will go through the roof. Certain models of Honda Civics and Accords, specific Ford and Chevy trucks, and more recently, certain Kias and Hyundais are stolen at dramatically higher rates than other vehicles. It has nothing to do with your teen, and everything to do with the car itself. Before you even look at a car, a quick Google search for car model theft rates can save you a fortune. If it's on a top 10 list for most stolen vehicles, walk away. Just walk away. Second, and this is the big one, is what's called loss history. Every insurance company contributes data to a massive shared database, like the Comprehensive Loss Underwriting Exchange, or CLUE. For every specific year, make, and model of car, they know exactly how many claims are filed, what type of claims they are, and how much those claims cost to pay out. They know that the drivers of a 2-door red coupe file 30% more speeding-related accident claims than the drivers of a 4-door beige sedan. Even if the engines are identical, they're not insuring your kid. They're insuring the statistical average of every person who has ever driven that exact type of car. This is why the sporty-looking car is a trap. The Kia K5 GT line, the Honda Civic C, the Toyota Camry TRD. These are cars that look fast. They have spoilers and aggressive styling. They might not even have a powerful engine, but they attract a demographic that tends to drive more aggressively. And so their loss history is terrible. The car itself tells a story of risk to the insurer, regardless of who is behind the wheel. Your job is to pick a car that tells the most boring story imaginable. So what is the perfect car? Where is the Goldilocks zone that balances safety, reliability, and most importantly, insurability? It's almost always a 5 to 10-year-old midsize sedan, or a small to midsize SUV from a mainstream brand. Think Toyota Camry, Honda Accord, Ford Fusion, Subaru Forester, or a Toyota RAV4. Let's break down why that works. A 5 to 10-year-old model has already taken its biggest depreciation hit, so the comprehensive and collision coverage will be based on a lower vehicle value. It's new enough to have essential modern safety features like electronic stability control and plenty of airbags, but it's likely old enough to avoid the hyper-expensive, sensor-laden bumpers and mirrors. The parts for these mass-market vehicles are everywhere, making them cheap to repair. They are almost never on the most stolen lists. And their loss history? It's a dream. The data says these cars are driven by sensible people, by families, by commuters. They tell a story of safety, predictability, and low risk. They are a sea of beige in a world of risky red. The single most impactful thing you can do to lower your teen's insurance premium is to hand them the keys to the most boring, sensible, unexciting car you can find. A slightly used Toyota Camry is not a punishment. It is a strategic financial weapon. It is the smartest move you can make. But hold on. You did it. You resisted the sporty coupe. You found the perfect 2016 Honda Accord. It's safe, it's reliable, it's an insurer's dream. You've added it to your family policy. Now for the final critical question. You have two cars in your driveway, your brand new SUV and this 10-year-old Accord. You also have two primary drivers, you and your teenager. On the insurance policy, who gets assigned to which car? Does your teen get officially listed as the primary driver of the old Accord? Or do you? Does it even matter since you're all on one policy? The answer is yes, it matters immensely. How you assign drivers to vehicles is the last great secret to slashing your rates, and the way the insurance company wants you to do it is almost certainly the most expensive option for you. Getting this one last step right is just as important as picking the right car. And that's the final piece of the puzzle we need to lock into place. So let's talk about how insurance companies actually structure a policy, because understanding this is the key to saving a fortune. On any auto policy with more than one car and more than one driver, every person has to be assigned as the primary driver of a specific vehicle. Think of it like a game of musical chairs. When the music stops, every driver has to be sitting in a car. The insurance company needs to know who is primarily responsible for which vehicle. This is how they calculate the risk for each car. The rate for your sporty convertible isn't just based on the car itself. It's based on the car and the driving record of the person who drives it most often. Now here's the trap. When you call your insurance company or go online and say, "I need to add my 16-year-old son, Alex," a very predictable and expensive chain of events is set into motion. You've just thrown a new player into the game of musical chairs, and he doesn't have a designated seat. The insurance company's computer system, designed with one goal in mind, to accurately price risk, which often means maximizing premium, has to decide where to sit Alex. What do you think it does? Does it kindly assign Alex to the oldest, cheapest to insure car on your policy? Almost never. The system's default logic is often to pair the highest risk driver with the highest rated vehicle. Why? Because it represents the single greatest potential for a catastrophic loss. If you have a brand new $50,000 SUV and a 10-year-old sedan on your policy, the risk of your teen driver totaling that SUV is the company's biggest financial exposure. So they rate for it. The algorithm automatically assigns your teen as the primary driver of that brand new SUV. And just like that, your premium doesn't just go up, it explodes. It skyrockets into the stratosphere. You're left staring at a bill that's $3,000 or $4,000 higher per year, feeling helpless and thinking, well, I guess this is just how much it costs. No, it's how much it costs when you let the insurance company play the game for you. You have to take control of the board. This is the single most important conversation you will have with your insurance agent, and it's where you need to be direct, specific, and unyielding. When you add your teen driver, you do not simply say, "Add my son to the policy." That is a recipe for financial disaster. Instead, you must use very specific language. You will say, I need to add my son Alex to our family policy, and I need you to list him as the primary driver of the 2012 Honda Civic. Let's break down why this is so powerful. Imagine the Johnson family. They have 3 cars. Mom drives a 2023 Toyota Highlander. Dad drives a 2021 Ford F-150. And they have a 2014 Toyota Camry that they bought specifically for their new driver Chloe. The Highlander and the F-150 are expensive to insure. They're new, they have high replacement values, and they carry full coverage with low deductibles. The Camry is the cheapest car to insure by a mile. It's older, it's safe, and they might only carry liability on it, or perhaps comprehensive with a high deductible. If Mr. Johnson calls and says, add Chloe to our policy, the system, seeing this brand new high-risk driver, might pair her with the F-150. The premium increase could be a staggering $400 a month. That's almost $5,000 a year. However, if Mr. Johnson calls and says, I'm adding my daughter, Chloe, and please assign her as the primary driver of the 2014 Camry, the entire calculation changes. The risk is now anchored to the vehicle she will be driving most of the time. The premium will still go up, of course. It might go up by $150 a month, but that's a difference of $250 every single month. That's $3,000 a year you just saved with one sentence. Now I know what you're thinking. But wait, is this legal? Is this insurance fraud? My daughter is going to drive my Highlander sometimes to go to the grocery store. This is a critical point, and the answer is absolutely not. It is not fraud. It is the correct and honest way to structure your policy. The term primary driver means exactly what it says. The person who drives that car the most. It doesn't mean they are the only person who can ever drive it. This is where a concept called permissive use comes in. Virtually every standard auto policy in the United States includes a permissive use clause. This means that if a driver is listed on your policy, they are covered when they drive any vehicle on your policy, as long as they have your permission. So when Chloe is listed on the policy as the primary driver of the Camry, she is fully insured. And when she asks you, hey mom, can I borrow the Highlander to pick up my friends for the movie? And you say yes, she is still fully insured under the policy's permissive use clause. You are not hiding anything. You are not being deceptive. You are accurately representing the reality of your family's driving situation to the insurance company. Her main car, the one she drives to school, to her part-time job, to her friend's house 95% of the time, is the Camry. You are simply instructing the insurance company to rate her on that reality, not on the worst case, most expensive hypothetical scenario their computer defaults to. You must be the one to dictate this. Don't ask, so which car should we put him on? Tell them. Assign him to this car. If the agent gives you any pushback like, well, our system automatically assigns new drivers to the newest vehicle, you need to stand your ground. You can say, that's not an accurate reflection of our driving habits. He will be the primary operator of the older vehicle. Please ensure the policy reflects that. This strategy becomes your ultimate litmus test when you're shopping for new insurance, which you absolutely should be doing at this point. When you call a new company for a quote, this is part of your script. Hi, I'd like a quote for my family. We have 2 adult drivers and we're adding our 16-year-old son. We have a 2022 SUV, a 2020 sedan, and a 2013 hatchback. Please provide a quote with my son listed as the primary driver of the 2013 hatchback. If that company tells you they can't do that, or that their policy requires them to rate the teen on all cars or on the most expensive car, you thank them for their time and you hang up the phone. Instantly. That company does not have your best interests at heart. They have a rigid, outdated underwriting system designed to charge you the maximum possible premium. You have just saved yourself a massive headache and a ton of money by identifying them early and moving on. The right insurance company will understand and accommodate this request because it's standard, it's logical, and it's honest. By taking control of this one single variable, the driver assignment, you are fundamentally changing the risk equation. You're shifting the financial weight from their most expensive asset to their least expensive one. This isn't a loophole. It's not a trick. It is simply understanding the rules of the game better than the average person and using those rules to your advantage. It's the difference between blindly accepting the price you're given and actively negotiating the best possible outcome for your family. Getting the car right was step 1. Getting the driver assignment right is the final move that locks in your savings. Now you have the policy structured perfectly. You've picked the right car, you've stacked every possible discount, and you've assigned your teen to the cheapest vehicle, saving you thousands of dollars before they even back out of the driveway for the first time. You've built a fortress of savings. But that fortress is only as strong as its weakest point. And the weakest point is the moment your teen has their first accident or gets their first ticket. All of this careful planning can be undone in a single instant. How you handle that first incident, what you say, what you don't say, and the steps you take in the first 24 hours determines whether you keep these low rates or watch them vanish forever. It's the phone call every parent dreads. Your phone buzzes, you see your teen's name, and when you answer, the voice on the other end is shaky, scared, and says the words, "Mom, Dad, I've been in an accident." In that moment, your heart plummets. Your first instinct is pure protective panic. Are they okay? Is anyone hurt? But right after that initial wave of fear, your next actions and the instructions you give your child can save you literally thousands of dollars over the next decade. The very first rule, the one you need to drill into your teen's head before they ever get their license, is what not to do at the scene of an accident. It's simple, but it goes against every human instinct to be polite and apologetic. They must not, under any circumstances, admit fault. No saying, "I'm so sorry I didn't see you." No, this was all my fault. Even if it seems obvious, even if they feel overwhelming guilt, they must not say these words. Admitting fault at the scene can be used against you by the other driver's insurance company, locking you into a liability claim before any real investigation has even begun. Their only job is to state facts. The other car and my car collided. That's it. They should be polite, they should be calm, but they should not be apologetic. The second thing you, the parent, must do is become their calm in the storm. Over the phone, you are their remote control guide. Your first question always, "Is anyone hurt?" If the answer is yes, or even maybe, the next instruction is immediate. Hang up and call 911 right now. Then call me back. If everyone is okay, you become their checklist. First, tell them to turn on their hazard lights, and if it's safe to do so, move the car to the side of the road. If it's not safe, they stay put with their seatbelt on. Second, instruct them to get their phone out and become a documentarian. Photos. Photos of everything. The position of the cars. The damage to their car from every angle. The damage to the other car from every angle. A wide shot of the intersection or road, showing street signs and traffic lights. The other driver's license plate. And critically, the other driver's license and their insurance card. A clear photo of each is non-negotiable. Third, get information. They need the other driver's name, phone number, and address. If there are any witnesses, people who stopped to help or saw what happened, they need to get their names and phone numbers too. Witnesses are neutral parties, and their account can be invaluable. Fourth, even if it's a minor fender bender, it's almost always wise to call the police to file a report. A police report is an official third-party record of the incident. It establishes the facts of the case and prevents the other driver from changing their story later. Your teen should tell the officer the facts as they remember them, without speculating or admitting fault. Once your teen is safe and the scene is clear, the clock starts ticking on that 24-hour window. This is where you decide whether to file a claim. And believe it or not, the answer isn't always yes. If the damage is truly minor, a small dent, a scratched bumper, and it's less than or just slightly over your deductible, it can be financially smarter to pay for the repair out of pocket. Why? Because an at-fault claim, even a small one, can trigger a surcharge on your premium that lasts for 3 to 5 years. That surcharge can easily add up to more than the cost of the initial repair. You're essentially trading a one-time payment of, say, $700 for a $1,500 premium hike spread over 3 years. So get a repair estimate first. A quick trip to a local body shop can give you a clear number. Once you have that estimate, you can make an informed decision. If you do decide to call your insurance company, be prepared. Have the police report number, the photos, and the other driver's information ready. When you speak to the claims adjuster, stick to the facts. Don't editorialize or offer opinions. Just present the information you have. The adjuster's job is to determine fault based on the evidence. Your job is to provide that evidence clearly and concisely. This first incident is also where you discover the true value of a feature we briefly mentioned earlier: accident forgiveness. If you opted for a policy with this benefit, this is its moment to shine. Accident forgiveness is typically a one-time use pass. Your insurer will forgive the first at-fault accident, meaning they won't raise your rates because of it. It's an incredibly valuable shield, but remember, it's usually a shield you can only use once. After that, your driving record is exposed, and any subsequent at-fault accidents will almost certainly trigger a premium increase. This makes the conversation with your teen after the fact even more critical. It's not just about the damage to the car. It's about using up a precious lifeline. And this brings us to the final and perhaps most important piece of the puzzle: the long game. Adding a teen driver isn't a one-time transaction. It's the beginning of a multi-year process of coaching and development. The first accident, a speeding ticket, or even a close call shouldn't be just a moment of punishment. It needs to be a moment of education. Sit down with them. Review what happened. What could have been done differently? Was it distraction? Speed? Inexperience? Use the telematics app data as a teaching tool, not a weapon. Show them the heartbreaking event, the moment of acceleration, and talk through the real-world consequences. Think of your teen's time on your family policy as a residency program for driving. In the beginning, supervision is high, restrictions are tight, and the cost is at its peak. But as they prove themselves over the years, by maintaining a clean record, getting good grades, and demonstrating mature decision-making, they begin to graduate. The rates start to come down. The good driver discounts kick in. The need for constant monitoring fades. Eventually, they'll be ready for their own policy. This is the ultimate goal. When they move out or when they've established their own financial independence, transitioning them to their own insurance plan is the final step. And because you've spent years building their foundation, they'll enter the insurance market not as a high-risk teenager, but as a young adult with a proven track record of responsible driving. They'll qualify for better rates and better coverage than if they were just starting from scratch. You've navigated the complexities of permits and licenses. You've shopped for the right coverage and hunted down every possible discount. You've installed the technology and established the rules of the road. You've prepared for the worst-case scenario and know how to handle it with a calm, strategic mind. You have done more than just add a name to a document. You have created a comprehensive system designed to protect your child, your finances, and everyone else on the road. The journey of a teen driver is one of the most stressful and expensive periods of parenthood, but it's also an incredible opportunity. It's a chance to instill lessons of responsibility, foresight, and accountability that will serve them for the rest of their lives, long after they've left your home and your insurance policy. You're not just insuring a car. You're investing in a future where that shaky voice on the other end of the phone is a rare exception, not a regular occurrence. You're launching a safe, competent, and responsible driver into the world. And that is the best insurance of all.